All right, guys. I got one I want to go into a little bit. It's going to be a little esoteric, and it's going to have something to do with death. I already told you when I was a little boy I died, and I came back after a couple of days. I was summoned by this karmic board, and they told me I had to go back. I had to go back into my incarnation. How does this work? Like, how could you go back? Well, they put the soul back in the body. It fell back into the incarnation. What happens when you die? Remember, I had another lesson I talked about. We have multiple bodies. You have your physical body, your fleshly vehicle. You have a spirit body. And then you have an etheric body, your soul. When you die, your etheric body goes to the etheric realm. I already went into what levels you'll get onto. You can refer to some earlier videos for more specifics on that. But I want to actually go into how you could go back. Because the thing is, your spirit doesn't actually go to the etheric plane right away. And sometimes, depending on your karmic lessons, your karma, and how you died, your spirit could get stuck. It could stay in the physical. Yeah. Some of this stuff is why it's important that funeral services have a legitimate white mage or empath working with the services. Another reason why the dark occult has infiltrated that business too. No, there are special practices that a white mage should perform. And I'm going to say, if you are a legit empath, if you're a chosen one, you're probably going to find yourself around death a good bit. Indeed, the older we get, the more we encounter the angel of death. But as an empath, you're going to find yourself that naturally you're going to be put in positions where it almost seems like you're supposed to help people that are grieving through a death. Maybe you'll have instances where people want to just come to you and tell you things in confession days before they die. I knew a young man, and I'll be honest, I didn't exactly like this kid at first, but he grew on me. And I started to see something in him. I started to see the light in him. Unfortunately, he went through a tough breakup and had some things go on. But I remember he came to me one time and he said, "Matt, I need you to pray for me. I need you to pray for me." I felt it. I felt the urgency from this young man. I said, "Sure, I'll pray for you." I said, "No doubt I'll pray for you. But you need to look at the Word and you need to connect to God yourself. I could pray for you all day long, but if you don't actually connect to God yourself, then it won't do you much good." And he tells me, he goes, "But no, Matt, I want you to pray for me. I know you're close to God." I told him I would. And we went about the rest of our night. And about a week later, I get a phone call. He died. He was a young kid. In his mid-20s. Way too young to die. But we never really know when the Lord's going to be calling us up. And they had the funeral service and I went there and I spoke. I said something about him. He helped me move. He was one of the few friends that helped me move. He did it consistently when we moved. I even said something. I said, you really know who your true friends are, the ones that help you move. I guess I kind of saw him a little bit as like a little brother in a way. But the minister said something there at that funeral service. He said that they had found a Bible in the young man's dresser. And he said they actually flipped through it and they started seeing some pages where he was highlighting some stuff. So I'd like to think he was connected. And I miss him to this day. But you're going to have moments like that. You probably will. That wasn't the first time. I played music at some funeral services. That was new for me, but that's what the family asked for. They asked for us to play some songs, and we did. I remember that year we had a span of multiple tragic teenage deaths and car accidents. I found myself playing music for like 3 or 4 services throughout that year. One of them, an astounding thing happened. All these kids and teenagers came up and piled on the altar in prayer. I don't know how many kids would have been there, probably like 200 or more. It was a huge amount. The Spirit was moving. But they had a legit white mage there doing some work. Because no doubt that church was heavily Masonic. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure the pastor there was a legit empath, too. And when he died, unfortunately, too. Something about them Freemason groups. I'm still waiting to get served papers. People wonder what I say. How can I say what I say and not get sued? Well, there's only a couple of options, right? Because if I was lying, surely I'd get a lawsuit by now. Because I'd love to testify. Confirmation.